in this area? Or what are things that you can look at and say, actually, you know what? The true test of Ken Lusaka here would be that he has identified an area that can actually measure true growth. And what are some of those things?
Thank you very much. It's true that first you must address the basics.
Yes.
Which we have done. And Bungoma is an agricultural county. And during my first term, and of course, that's why when there was a disruption, and that's why two-term becomes important. When you have a disruption, then
you would have done it if they didn't bring
it. Because I had planned to put up a miller, to add value in Tongareni, so that as we produce maize, then we add value to it, value addition. That's what we are talking about. So we are talking about, for example, we have small ones, which are adding like tomatoes to make tomato paste, so that we don't have. My vision was not to have any raw food leaving in Bungoma, but at least adding values. Even coffee, we have millers there, the coffee millers. We have one in Umsese, another one in a place called Cheskaki, because in the past the coffee was being transported all the way to Thika for value addition. So those are the kind of things. We even put money in those millers so that we add value to our coffee, and also wanted to add value to the maize because it's a maize producing area. Of course, Nzoia has been there. It's owned by the national government, but it has had challenges, but now it's on its feet after being leased out. And of course, we're also developing Matulo airstrip. We want now it to be an airport. That is our vision for it to. But as we speak now, next month we are going to start putting up a terminus, so that we are able now even to export some of the things that we are producing in Bungoma. So I think the long term, I want to agree with you that of course we want to focus on value addition to the agricultural products that we are getting there, because Bungoma is basically, we don't have minerals. We can only improve on the agricultural sector that we have. I mean, sugarcane, coffee, tea on the slopes of Mount Elgon. Actually, there was a plan to put up a tea factory. Again, that is still at the planning stage, but we have had to encourage people to plant tea so that it is enough. We don't want to start a factory, then we lack materials. Then, of course, even during my first, I also served as a permanent secretary in the Ministry of Livestock before joining politics. When I was there, I put up a factory, a chicken slaughter factory, state of the art, to be able, because I know people rear chicken in Western Kenya, and Bungoma is not something you're going to teach them. It has capacity to slaughter about 3,000 chicken in a day.
Is it still active?
Yes, it's still active. It was, again, when I left, whoever took over did not have the vision I had, so it didn't manage it the way what my thoughts were. But again, it is there, the machinery are there, and the intention was that you get women groups, youth groups to rear chicken, and then we have collection points. They pay the farmer. The chicken is taken to the slaughterhouse for export. In fact, when you remember that story of the wheelbarrow, whatever people were talking about, the
109,000 shillings wheelbarrow.
Of course, the whole thing was taken out of context, because the wheelbarrow that we're talking about actually should have been called a food trolley because of the material that was used. Because you can't export any meat or any meat product if you don't use non-carcinogenic material. That is what was used for that food trolley. But everybody blew it out of proportion. And I was doing that. I'm a very focused person, by the way. I was doing that because I knew that we were going to export chicken, because we bought Uganda. In fact, Rwanda had already come to see us, for us to be able to export chicken. And when there it works,
the same Uganda that exports eggs to Kenya?
Yes, we are going to export chicken.
Then we import
the eggs.
That's a conversation for another day. But Rwanda came. So I was like, if I can also tell you, for example, in agriculture, during my first term, I bought tractors to make sure that we till the land. I put up weather stations to be able to do predictable agriculture. I bought dryers to be able to assist the farmers, especially in Mount Elgon, where the weather is a challenge. I bought soil testing equipment to be able to know what soils we have in what area and therefore we are planting, so that you can see how organized I was. That is